Hello again, I'm Frida Staffer. I have a video of mostly or all Korean foods. Today I cooked everything myself except for the kimchi. I got that out of a jar. But it was fun. I had fun. I'm learning so much about Korean culture. South Korean, not North Korean. And I'm
South Korean, more like North Korean.
South Korean is learning about it. I'm learning a lot of new things. I don't think I ever really knew much about it. I knew it existed, and that's about it. So I have cooked and eaten this meal. So I hope that you enjoy watching. Everything was not that hard. It was all pretty easy and tasted delicious. So enjoy my video, I hope. Okay, now this is what I'm making for today. It's Korean potato soup, and the recipe writer says that it's a very child-friendly soup, not as spicy as some Korean foods. This has garlic and soy. It says soup soy, but I don't have it, so I'm just going to use regular soy and use a little bit more than it would from the other one. And there is my beef. It asked for 1/4 pound or 4 ounces, but I have a whole pound here, so my pot is going to get a little bigger. I expect that I will share it with my family because it is child friendly. So I'm starting by putting the soy sauce and the garlic onto the meat to marinate it a little. So I have about 5 cloves of garlic in there and a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I'm going to pulse it in my tiny little blender, so I can chop the garlic more before I put it on the meat. So what this is, technically, it's I made my own little soy sauce and garlic paste to marinate the meat. All right, these are the green onions and sliced jalapenos. Of course, originally this recipe does not get jalapenos because Koreans are not big consumers of jalapeno peppers, but the recipe writer suggested adding red Korean pepper flakes, so I decided to use up these jalapenos I have on hand because I don't really have Korean red pepper flakes. I have regular ones, but I decided to use up these because they're fresh, and I think that adding that fresh flavor of the jalapenos probably will accentuate and complement the soup. So I hope no one is offended by my tweak here. All right, next step is to put oil in the pan. And I'm getting ready to cook the beef. I already cut up the potatoes and some of the tofu. I'm going to cut up the rest of it, but it's still frozen solid. I stored it in the freezer. So now I'm finally going to use it. In goes the meat. So there it is cooking. It won't take it long. Just get it all seared up. And then I'll put boiling hot water on it. Yep. Just a little bit more, and then I'll add the water. It's cooking nicely. Smells really good. I hope they get really soft. Smell. Now here is the boiling water. The recipe said beef broth, but I don't have any. So I'm going to make my own here. I just plain water with all the goodies from the beef, all the beefy flavor. And I'm going to test it and see if it needs any salt in a little bit. Okay, I'm heating some more water with halal chicken bouillon, 2 tablets. And that way I won't have to add salt. I got soy sauce and I got chicken bouillon in there, so that's enough salt. Now I'm ready to add the potatoes. And it apparently doesn't have to cook too long after the potatoes are added. I'll just check and see. I left the skin on. I always leave skin on potatoes because it's more filling. They have more protein. So let's let those come to a boil and cook. I'm working on a side dish of zucchini pancakes, or what I used to know them as was zucchini fritters. And this time I'm making them with Korean spices and Korean seasonings. And I'm going to grate them here on the box grater. Traditionally, Koreans would slice them thinly like matchsticks, but I am going to use the coarse side of my box grater and grate them that way. That was quick. They're all grated now, and I'm going to salt them a little and let them hang out here for about 10 minutes. Okay, I have cleaned up all the liquid that came out of the zucchini with this paper towel, so it's a lot less liquidy than it was before. And here is the red pepper flakes. The recipe says to slice some fresh green ones, but I don't have any. I don't have any fresh green hot peppers. I guess I could put a little bit of bell pepper and these pepper flakes. That would give it some pepper taste, more pepper taste. And then instead of regular flour, I'm using potato flour and cornstarch. The recipe said if you don't have Korean savory pancake mix, you can use regular flour and cornstarch. So I'm using potato flour and cornstarch because I don't want to use wheat flour. So there's the 1/4 cup of potato flour. And 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. It asked for 1/4 of an onion, sweet onion, so I grated 1/4 of one to put in there. Okay, now mix it around with the cornstarch and potatoes, flour, and It needs an egg too. I'll get the egg and put it in there too. Okay, so I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of egg white, liquid egg white in, because I like how liquid egg white gets more crispy than a whole egg. So I'm using that option. So it's a little bit thick, so I'm going to give it another splash of liquid egg white. There. I could have really just left the zucchini liquid in, because that potato flour and cornstarch it made it very thick. So I could have put less of that or left the liquid in, because I ended up having to add water because it was too thick. Now I'm ready to fry them. Set to make each one about 3 inches. So there. Oh, kind of hard here to do everything with one hand. Yeah. So there. Cooking. 2 are cooking. Cooking. Yes, cooking. Simmering, cooking away. Can't wait. Okay, for the zucchini side dish, besides the fritters, it's just a zucchini side dish, a very simple one with just zucchini and some seasonings. So I'm going to start with pure black sesame oil. You can use any sesame oil for this. So there it goes. And now the squash, and the squash only cooks for like 5. So it's going to cook for about 5 minutes, and then I add the other things and cook for about 1 minute. They're all done, ready to eat, and all I need anymore is the dipping sauce. Now, these guys are fritters. Doesn't take these long. They smell good with the sesame oil. I had these in the refrigerator and needed to use them. So that's why I'm making 2 zucchini dishes. They're a little bit undercooked, but I'm turning it off because a cast iron pan skillet will always keep the heat longer. So put in the other ingredients here. Pepper, onion, garlic. So, and it asks for fish sauce, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use tamari. It says fish sauce and sugar. Tamari already has some sugar in it, so that's what I'm going to use. It's all done. Yummy. I can't wait to eat now. Okay, this is what I'm going to put in the dipping sauce. I have Kikkoman tamari soy sauce, which it said, the recipe said soy sauce, but I'm using tamari soy sauce because tamari has sugar added, and then I won't add any extra sugar.
This is kind of alcohol.
No, it is not. This is rice vinegar, and this is Korean hot pepper, and here's some black pepper. And other than that, I put a little water. So, do you want? Okay, it gets a tablespoon of tamari.
Being a cameraman is harder than I thought.
And
I'm literally only been recording for 13 seconds.
it said 1 teaspoon of vinegar. That's about a half tablespoon. So I got a little extra, and I don't mind because I like sour stuff. And this, close, honey, close. Okay. Well, it's very well packaged here. Okay, now it gets just a shake of Korean hot pepper. It said flakes, but this is the fine. It's okay. And a little black pepper. So that is it, except now it gets a tablespoon of water. Is there water here? Yeah. There, that's it. Now the dipping sauce is ready for the little pancake. Okay, so here I am taste testing. Now this is, he's sleeping up there probably.
His head's hanging off.
He's comfortable like that. This is the beefy potato soup with tofu in it. And this tofu absorbed that soup broth, and it's delicious. This is tofu from Aldi, extra firm. And I cut up the beef so it's really tiny bits so it would get soft sooner. So if you want, here's a bite for you. And that green thing is a pepper, jalapeno, but they're not too spicy. Bismillah. It's very, very delicious. I never knew that a lot of Korean dishes are so easy to make and delicious. And this one is very kid friendly because it's not spicy. I love that soup. I think that with the meal I've made here, the only thing really missing is like maybe a bowl of rice. Going to eat one of these pancakes. Take a piece of the pancake, dip it in the sauce I made. So delicious. These pancakes by themselves taste a lot like the zucchini fritters my mom used to make. So, but what I see in Korean cooking is that they use a lot of different vegetables in savory pancakes. So this sauce is really good. It's kind of light, spicy and sour. I put a teaspoon and a half of vinegar instead of 1 teaspoon. And it's very delicious. And I taste just a hint of sweet from the tamari having added sugar. Tamari is basically soy sauce with sugar and some other things added. So delicious. Now, this squash dish, I'm going to list all my recipes at the bottom of the video. I know I put quite a few recipes in this. I wanted a whole meal to go with the soup. I don't really eat rice, but rice would go nicely with this. It's very good. I taste that. I taste the garlic and I taste the sesame oil, the hot pepper and the onions. It's really, really delicious. And I also use tamari. They would use fish sauce in this, but I use tamari. If I had fish sauce, I'd use it. Most fish sauce is made with anchovies, and that's fish, so therefore halal for us. providing it doesn't have alcohol or something in it. Very good. I had 2 zucchini dishes today because they were in my fridge and I was afraid they would rot. And I have this vegan kimchi and I'm going to eat a little of it with my food. I'm going to eat a little kimchi with one of my pancakes. I can see myself eating this kind of food every day. One year, I lost over 20 pounds and I was eating from the Chinese buffet every single day. I didn't eat the rice and the noodles. I only ate the vegetables and fish. That's not quite the same as Korean, but it also focuses on vegetables. Chinese don't have kimchi, and I'm in love with kimchi. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't give you guys a bite, but I would if I could.